Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. We're back to talking about Bobbie. Looks like we're at 95 to part of 96.
Yes.
We're going to end when she meets Carly.
Yes. It was so hard not to keep going, though, because
I know.
I just wanted to get into it. And I was like, no, we'll give like a brief. They said hi here. They say hi here. And then I'll let you have it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly.
Who knows when we're going to get to that one, though, because that is going to take time. And I just have not been working on it.
I can do some, too.
I
just
know.
give up the rights of starting
I said you can. I just know that you don't like to do the crazy detail, and that needs the crazy detail.
I used Curlicue for this and just went through and looked at the detail, like the day-by-day breakdown, and just looked up Bobbie stuff and then glanced over what was going on. So if it's something crazy, we can be like, oh, well, that's what was going on then.
Sounds good.
All right. So we will start for 95. The first time she was seen was January 11th. Bobbie and Kevin try and clear the air about his relationship with Lucy. Bobbie and Tony have a session with Kevin. Okay, so we're remembering that her and Tony were having issues because of her having that affair with Damien.
That'll do it.
And then she has issues with Lucy because Lucy was the person that like started that whole, I bet you can't sleep with her. So just reminding. Tony is anxious to make some progress. He wants to know what Kevin and Bobbie were discussing when he walked in. Bobbie resents Lucy's part in their problem. Tony thinks that all Lucy did was open the door. It was Bobbie who walked through it. Bobbie blows her top and storms out, and Tony tells Laura about his and Bobbie's session. Bobbie needs a friend and goes to talk to Alan.
Ugh.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Then Alan and Tony talk Bobbie and therapy. Tony tells him he was already tired of therapy.
Kevin and Tony? Tony
Nope.
and who?
Alan and Tony talk Bobbie and therapy. Alan and Tony are like BFFs.
But why are they in therapy together?
No, they were talking about each other's marital issues. So Tony was like,
okay,
hey, I was just in therapy.
Alan go to be like, hey,
No.
I heard you needed help. I'm like, that's a really supportive friend to go to therapy with you.
This gets weird. I'm just gonna
But
put that out there. It does though. So
no, I meant like it's not like he went.
No, it's not that he went to
like, how can I support you, friend?
No. Tony is like, me and Bobbie are in therapy. It's not going great. I'm over it.
Okay.
And Alan thinks that therapy will help him and Bobbie gain closure. So there, he is being the supportive friend, even if he didn't seek it out. And then Bobbie is late to their first therapy session because she went storming out of Kevin's office. Tony is sure she's not coming. So like the next one, I guess. I don't know why it says first because it would be next one. When she arrives, he has to take back his words about her not wanting to take responsibility for anything. Another therapy session with Kevin goes south with Bobbie telling off Tony and storming out. Kevin accuses Tony of sabotaging the session. And then Alan goes to Bobbie for some coffee and sympathy. This is the middle of the month, January 20th, because this is when Monica is having all of her breast cancer issues, and she's at the wellness center in Arizona, I think it was. And then there's the whole about adopting Emily and blah, blah, blah. So again, backstory with everybody having marital problems. Alan's feeling bad because Monica won't have anything to do with him because she's not feeling very self-confident after her surgeries. January 25th, Bobbie tells Amy and Audrey that she feels like her sessions with Tony are achieving nothing. Steve asks Tony about his relationship with Bobbie. He tells him that if he needs a leave of absence, all he has to do is ask. Lucy and Bobbie come to blows when Lucy goes to GH to see Kevin, and Tony breaks up their fight. January 26th, Alan and Bobbie discuss her behavior with Lucy. Bobbie questions how much blame she has to take for it to be okay with Tony.
Can I hear that?
Alan gives her some straight talk. He invites her to the Outback with him to see Ned sing. 30th, Lucy wants to know what Kevin is going to do to get Bobbie back into therapy. Kevin tells her to mind her own business. Bobbie and Tony talk and both agree to bend and not be so stubborn. February 1st, Bobbie sort of apologizes to Lucy. Kevin tells Bobbie that her apology did not have an ounce of sincerity. Tony and Bobbie have an impromptu therapy session. She is tired of him sitting in judgment of her, and Tony tells her that he can't forget her betrayal. February 15th, Bobbie and Tony once again decide to go back into therapy. The 22nd, Tony tells Tiffany that so this is when Sean got shot. Tony tells Tiffany that the bullet destroyed Sean's carotid artery. He came through surgery, but there are complications. Sean will need additional surgery to remove the bullet fragments in his brain, and Bobbie assures Tiffany that Sean will come through this. And then March 1st, Bobbie invites Alan to Luke's club.
And then March 3rd, Bobbie joins the Q's at Luke's club. On the 7th, Bobbie and Tony have a session with Kevin, and Bobbie has a breakthrough, and they make serious progress. What was the breakthrough?
I don't know. Didn't give any more detail than that.
On the 8th, Ryan cons his way into Kevin's office at GH. Bobbie comes in wanting to change her next appointment. Ooh, did he trick her?
He did.
On the 16th, Tony and Bobbie worry that Lucas is resigned to loss. They reassure him that they will always be there for him.
Because they were having issues. He was upset that they were going to end up divorced because he had already dealt with losing his sister and his original family.
Yeah. Then Tony and Bobbie update Steve on Ryan.
This is when Ryan's dying every other week. Remember whenever we did Ryan, it was he was dead. No, he wasn't. And then a few weeks later, it was he exploded. Wait, no, he didn't. And then it goes on. So this is all of that, Ryan.
Okay. On March 22nd, Bobbie arrives at the Q Mansion for Monica's homecoming. On the 23rd, Bobbie tells Monica that she and Tony are really connecting. The 24th, Bobbie threw a birthday party for Bobbie's little birthday party for Tony is ruined when he is called in for surgery. Simone joins Bobbie for a pity party. Tony feels bad when he arrives home and sees the birthday party Bobbie had planned for him, but that he's late for. Okay, but he didn't know.
Right. She was trying, though, because she threw the party.
On March 30th, Bobbie wants in on the craps game at Luke's, but the minute Luke gives the signal, she is out. Lucy joins in the craps game. Bobbie and Lucy get into it, and Luke tosses Bobbie out of the game. Bobbie sees Kevin sitting alone at the bar and tells him that Lucy was in on the craps game, throwing herself at every man in sight. Some things never change. March 31st, Tony has to bail on Brenda's party.
This was Brenda's 21st birthday party?
In 1995? Okay, yeah. Sure. As he is wanted in surgery, Bobbie has to go alone. Something says she's 52 now. Wait, math. 51. 50!
95.
95. So Brenda just turned 49 on March 31st, 1995.
Okay.
So Brenda just turned 49. Brenda will be... Okay, Brenda is... Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. We're that old now.
We are old.
Yep. Okay. Tony has to bail on Brenda's 21st birthday party. As he is wanted in surgery, Bobbie has to go alone. Monica bails on the party as well. She wants to go home and stay with Paige. And Paige is Emily's mom.
Yeah.
Biological mom. Bobbie and Alan agree to be each other's dates for the night. April 5th, 1995, Tony is planning a welcome home party for Georgie. Is that when she was born?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, remember she'd been born
Oh, that's right. She was born. Yeah. Bobbie wants to know why Tony is so gung-ho about the party. Bobbie and Tony agree that they need to take the pressure off each other. On the 10th, Bobbie joins Paige and Monica for lunch at the Outback. The 13th, Alan shares his reservations with Bobbie about Monica taking on too much with the center. She suggests that they get a drink at Luke's and talk. And on the 14th, Alan and Bobbie have a drink at Luke's. They discuss Alan's hurt over being pushed aside by Monica.
Which, again, Monica is pushing him aside because she is dealing with her friend who is dying, dealing with the fact that she is lucky enough to not be dying, but has just had to go through all this chemo and a mastectomy, and the fact that she's adopting Emily.
Right.
So
I can get it, though, because their intimacy has always been a very big part of their relationship. And if she's not... I've never watched that whole storyline. We should definitely do it.
I can sympathize, but at the same time, you have Bobbie over here having a drink with Alan.
Right.
And then you have her over at the Quartermaines being like, oh, let's have lunch, Paige and Monica.
Right. But I don't think... But Bobbie and Alan were never... They did that one night where they're like, oh, what if we did? And then they kissed and they're like, oh, God, that's disgusting. I don't think that they ever actually had a romantic interest in each other, either side.
They never went through with it.
I don't think that they really... I think that they were like, maybe we should because we're here. And then they
considered that they developed feelings. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
April 17th, Alan and Bobbie have a talk at on the brownstone stoop. Bobbie tells him to hang in there. April 20th, Felicia asks Bobbie to be Georgie's godmother. She sees Tony and Bobbie together being civil and asks if Kevin is working his magic on them in therapy. Kevin asks Bobbie about her feelings about Tony being so involved in Felicia's baby's life, because that's another thing. Bobbie was totally jealous that he was goo goo gaga over Georgie after they had lost Bobbie, or after they had lost BJ. Which that does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
April 24th, Luke and Mike report the hijacking of the truck to the cops, and Bobbie covers for Luke at GH for his gunshot wound, because, like, you have to report why people got shot.
Fair.
April 25th, Bobbie tells Tony she thinks Luke is in trouble again. She tells him about seeing Luke at GH. Bobbie and Tony are excited about sharing a little girl again by being the godparents to Georgie.
Was that mentioned during Bobbie's tribute?
That she was the godmother?
Uh-huh. She's with Georgie again.
Yeah, that wasn't. I don't remember that being mentioned. No.
To be fair, they did an excellent job of that was so good.
Yeah. April 26th, Bobbie questions Luke about what he's been up to. He tells her not to worry. Alan invites Bobbie to the Q mansion for a drink. On this May 2nd, Mike is brought into the ER and Bobbie and Tony go to work on him. He is rushed to surgery. This is original Mike getting to know... Mike
Corbin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting to know Sonny. May 5th, Bobbie explains to Sonny that Mike experienced severe chest pain after waking up. May 10th, Frisco gives Bobbie some advice on her and Tony. Bobbie asks Kevin what he thinks of her idea to not be so passive where Tony is concerned. Kevin warns her not to expect a miracle. And then May 12th, Bobbie and Monica leave for Arizona to pack up Paige's apartment. Because again, Paige we already know she's going to die. So here, I'm your best friend. I'll go with you and help pack up your other best friend's apartment. May 18th, Tony quickly realizes his anger is about him and his pain. Bobbie is back from Arizona. She learns about what went down at Luke's house. Luke needs a place to crash. Tony is not wild about the idea of Luke staying, but Bobbie puts her foot down. And that was drama when Laura took Lulu and went away.
Because there was so much violence?
Yeah. She was concerned about
Is that
the
after
shooting.
The house got shot up? Yeah.
Yeah. May 23rd, Bobbie tells Kevin about...
say this like it's totally normal.
Right.
The last time your house was shot up, I thought it was a good idea that you left town for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for letting Matt stay here.
Right, exactly. Of course. With his dog and his worm farm.
Exactly.
Sorry.
May 23rd, Bobbie tells Kevin about Tony not being all about making love with her. Kevin asks if she feels rejected. May 29th, Bobbie is miffed when Tony loses track of time helping Maxie with a project Frisco promised to finish. Which again, he was their uncle though.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that part of it. June 9th, Luke tells Bobbie about Lucky almost shooting him. Luke admits that he does not know what to do anymore. And then June 8th, Bobbie checks in on Alan and she convinces him to take a walk with her. Oh, the next sentence must be on your page, Bobbie.
Tells Alan that her making a move with Tony was a bust and Alan knows just how she feels. And then on June 9th, Bobbie finds Alan sleeping on the couch. Monica and Emily have been up all night with Paige. Bobbie reminds Alan that what is happening with Paige is happening to him too. I think that was maybe the thing too. Alan wasn't addressing the fact that he was also processing Monica's changes and Emily's changes and stuff.
Right.
He was like, no, I'm supposed to be taking care of you and you're not letting me. And then he also wasn't taking care of himself.
Right.
Caregiver burnout, even though he wasn't recognizing himself as a caregiver. Emily is quick to usher Bobbie and Monica out so she can have some alone time with her mom. Later, Tony finds Felicia crying and she tells him about Stone. This is when they found out that he had AIDS.
Yes.
Bobbie walks in on them and gets the wrong idea. She feels terrible when Tony sets her straight. June 30th, no commercials. Yay! Bobbie tells Ruby that she thinks Laura is being unfair by kicking Luke out.
Violence. Protect your baby.
I love Luke and Laura, but if my husband had the house shot up because of his job, right. I'd be a little
The fact that your son almost shot you because he was trying to protect his family from the crap that you caused, I don't think you need to stay here.
Mm-hmm. Bobbie and Laura exchange words when Bobbie makes some snide remarks. July 3rd, Monica tells Bobbie about Alan trying to undermine her. Bobbie calls Monica out for her finding fault with Alan when all he has done is be supportive. Monica tells her to mind her own business. Bobbie tells Alan that she went to bat for him and she and Monica argued. Bobbie and Alan agree to have a commiserative drink at the Outback. July 4th, Bobbie talks things out with Kevin about her feelings with Tony and Felicia. We just squashed that. Okay, whatever. Kevin urges her to talk things out with Tony. Bobbie apologizes to Felicia and Tony for jumping to the wrong conclusion. Alan and Monica make peace. July 11th, Tom Hardy, asks Bobbie if he can rent Scott's old apartment. That would be at the Brownstone.
Oh, not Tom. Tommy. Is that the son?
Whose son?
Oh, no. Okay, it's Tom. Okay. Yeah,
Tom
you're
Hardy,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I was
Adult
thinking,
Tom Hardy.
I was thinking, yeah, never mind.
Okay. Tony tells Bobbie that he does not want Tom renting an apartment at the Brownstone. Bobbie wants Tony to consider them sharing a space again. July 12th, Bobbie asks Simone if she would be okay with Tom living in the Brownstone. On the 19th, Monica tells Bobbie about her trip to Arizona. On the 20th, Lucy starts going around town forgiving people.
Mm-hmm.
She starts with Catherine and Mac and then goes to GH to forgive Bobbie and Amy.
She had met like someone who does a reading of your like aura and everything, and they told her that she had a very dark cloud over her because she does not forgive anyone. So to fix herself, she was going to just go give everyone forgiveness.
Did she mean it?
No.
Okay, so that's not going to work.
No.
Ay. August 2nd, Bobbie tells Alan that nothing has changed between her and Tony. Same goes between him and Monica. Bobbie and Tony make love, but it's less than fantastic for Bobbie. Alan kisses Monica, but she is not receptive. She's not ready for that step. She tells him that she is thinking about reconstructive surgery. An emergency at GH interrupts them. As they scrub for surgery, Monica tells Bobbie she thinks she is ready for reconstructive surgery. Maybe that way she could stand to be touched again. Bobbie tells her she has to fake things with Tony earlier. Tony tells Alan that he and Bobbie made love. Oh, darn.
Mm-hmm.
And then on August 4th, Bobbie gets a leg cramp during the walk.
Yes.
And Alan has to take care of her.
And then Monica sees them together, and then Alan learns from Bobbie that Tony and her are not back on track despite the fact that they made love, and Alan has to drive Bobbie home. And then August 7th, Bobbie tells Luke that she's starting to have feelings.
What was the walk, though?
It was like some hike or something in the park.
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
anything...
I was thinking it was like a charity. Like, why aren't we doing...
We should be doing charity walks. That's a really good idea. But yeah, I don't think
like,
it was
that's
tied to
an
any
easy one
charity.
for them to do, too.
Right.
And again, it could also be something that we phone in and donate to.
Yep. Good ideas we have.
I know.
wish
It's
someone
like
would
they should
listen.
just hire us. I don't want to know ahead of time. We just want to be on consultation.
Yeah.
I don't want the scripts ahead of time. I like finding out with everybody else.
Right.
Although it would be fun to get it like 2 weeks ahead of time. That way we could just record ahead of time.
That would be
and
helpful.
Pay attention to social media as people are.
Yeah.
But then I also like getting the emails every week. Okay, I'm torn. But if you really
We could
wanted
try
me
it.
to,
Why don't
I
you
could
just send us
figure it out.
one?
I think I
And
could
we'll see how we go.
figure it out. Yeah. We would like to be the official companion podcast.
That's right.
For General Hospital.
Think we could handle that.
Mm-hmm. Proved our worth so far. 5 years. Thanks.
So August 7th, Bobbie tells Luke that she is starting to have feelings for Alan. And then August 9th, over dinner at the Outback, Alan and Bobbie admit that they have been having feelings for one another, but acting on them would be unthinkable. Monica calls Bobbie, interrupting her and Alan. August 14th, Tony and Bobbie make love again. August 16th, Bobbie and Tony join the cues for their anniversary toast at the mansion, while Alan and Bobbie exchange guilty glances. August 17th, Felicia asks Bobbie about the progress her and Tony are making. Bobbie is evasive. Alan does not want to stop hanging out with Bobbie despite the growing feelings between them. Despite agreeing not to have a drink after work, they end up at Luke's together, and Bobbie convinces him to go home. So there was a small point in there where she was like, we're not going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then August 18th, Luke lectures Bobbie about her feelings for Alan. August 24th, Alan and Bobbie share a drink at Luke's. Lucy, who is having dinner with John Hadley at a nearby table, is suspicious of them. Lucy sees Alan and Bobbie share a kiss outside of Luke's club, and Lucy confronts Bobbie. Of course she does.
I think that they were both very well aware of the root of their feelings, though. Like, they both knew, okay, we're having troubles in our marriages, so this makes sense that we are...
Right. Because they were good friends, and their partners were good friends. Like, the four of them were friends.
So, yeah, like, it's still not okay that they did all these things. I'm just saying,
no.
If you watch it, they weren't really being romantic. It wasn't there wasn't a passion between them.
No, they were
you saw them
complaining about their spouses and how unloved and unwanted they felt.
But I don't even feel like whenever they did kiss or something, it was them actually being attracted to each other. I can't explain it. It was,
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It just makes me angry. Like, I wouldn't be happy with one of my friends if they had an affair with my husband, but I really wouldn't be happy with one of my friends if while they were trying to have an affair with my husband, they were like, it's okay, here, talk to me about your problems. Like, you might be 6 feet under after that. Like, no. So anyway, August 25th, Alan learns that Lucy saw him kissing Bobbie. Alan explains to Lucy that his kiss with Bobbie was a one-time thing, and she agrees not to say anything. August 29th, Alan and Monica make excuses to avoid a dinner date that Tony suggests with him and Bobbie. Alan warns Lucy again to keep her big mouth shut about him and Bobbie. Monica is curious what's going on between them. Alan and Bobbie agree not to see each other anymore, and Monica blows her top over Alan, talking about their relationship with Bobbie. He tells her to get over it as he needs someone to lean on. And that was a huge issue. Monica kept saying to him, like, do not be confiding in my best friend about our marital issues. August 30th, Bobbie tells Kevin about her feelings for another man and hurting Tony. Later, Tony arrives for their session. Bobbie tells him that she would like to have some therapy sessions alone with Kevin. Tony wants the truth from her. Bobbie admits that she has been playing at being happy with him. September 1st, Bobbie explains again to Tony while she feels it is necessary to have individual sessions with Kevin. Alan learns that Bobbie told Tony that she is not happy with their reconciliation. And then September 5th, Bobbie tries to explain to Monica why Alan has a right to be upset. And this was about Monica went and had the reconstructive surgery without ever talking. Like, she just went missing, and Alan's like, where's my wife? And it turns out that she went and got the reconstructive surgery without consulting him at all. And he was mad that he couldn't be there for her, like, during the recovery.
He wasn't even
and all
letting
that
him.
stuff. Yeah. And so Bobbie was...
Especially when he was trying to pursue her. It's not like...
Right.
I did not go through cancer. I did not do all that. But I did have my reduction, and it does make you feel... I felt a little off, because that is something I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
To just feel like, oh gosh, like, are you still going to find me attractive? Even though, like,
right.
We joked about it, because people always asked how my husband was going to feel about it. And I'm like, the same way he would feel if I needed to have a knee replacement or like knee surgery. I need to have it done for my health.
Right.
And he got mad when people would ask him.
Right.
Like, you sure you're okay about that? And he's like, my wife's in pain. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I couldn't even imagine.
Right, if you would have gone off and done it by yourself and then came home fully healed and then been mad that he wasn't, like, helping.
But even thinking on her side, like...
Because, like, that is
the way that she had to do it was...
She kept saying she was going to go do this surgery, and he kept saying, I'm fine with you doing the surgery, but remember that you're doing the surgery for you.
Right.
I still think you're a beautiful woman.
Right.
I still want to be intimate with you. I'm not asking you or telling you that you need to get this done, like there's something wrong with you. She herself could not come to terms with not having the surgery to reconstruct everything. Yeah. And so that was why she went and did it. She felt like she wasn't being supported by him, but at the same time, he felt like he was supporting her by saying, I'm not asking you to do this. Right. So yeah, she went off and did it by herself. And then he was mad, and Monica didn't think he was justified. So Bobbie was like, yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't always normally side with the guys when the women are just, like, doing what they have to do. But, like, that one...
Give him the chance, at least.
Yeah, especially hear what he's saying.
Right.
You know, that's a big deal, because there are definitely plenty of men out there that would not be saying what Alan was saying. That would not have said the things that my husband said. And
right.
That's not good. Those are the ones that you leave and you go get it done. Surprise!
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, she had to do what she had to do, because they were also processing. Has Paige passed yet?
Yes.
So she was probably also processing all that, too. So,
yes.
She just had to handle something. This is not a podcast about that one, though. We really should, because I never watched that storyline.
Yeah, so. It was hard, because they were just putting one lines about Bobbie. I was like, well, I have to explain. Like, Bobbie tells Monica. Yeah, Bobbie tells Monica that Alan has a right to be mad, with no backstory. Is like, what?
No, absolutely. Because, and that is a huge part of Bobbie's storyline, because it involves what she was doing while she and Tony were not
in
the best place. So then on September 12th, Bobbie has a session with Kevin. He thinks that Bobbie likes spending time with Alan as he is a distraction from her processing and fixing things with Tony.
Yep.
Wow, I just said that. Then on the 13th, Tony and Bobbie have dinner at Luke's, but Bobbie can't stop thinking about Alan. The 14th, Bobbie brings a gift to Jason as an excuse to see Alan because that's Jason's birthday, September 13th. It's also somebody else's birthday.
And that was
Mine.
right after Jason had the accident.
Yeah, when he was only 10.
No.
Or should have been 10. Something like that. Yeah. I feel like they do go back and forth, though, between September 13th and 14th. But I'm going to go with, I just remember there being a birthday cake for Jason on my birthday.
There you go.
So, anyway, on the 19th, Bobbie has a session with Kevin. Bobbie tells him she is having trouble with her feelings for Alan and that Monica almost caught him in a clinch. On the 21st, Emily overhears Alan tell Bobbie that he is just about ready to chuck this whole mess with Monica. Emily sees Alan and Bobbie share a kiss.
She came to his, I did watch that. She came to the mansion and they were sat there and talked about how, like, we shouldn't do this. This isn't a good idea, blah, blah, blah. And Emily was hiding out on the patio and she overheard them talking when he was like, the thing is, because Bobbie said, what would happen if Monica walked in right now, like seeing us talking? They weren't even doing anything, just seeing us talking. And Alan was like, do you really think she would even notice? Like, she's so caught up in all her own stuff. And so that's whenever he said, I'm ready to just chuck this whole thing and be done. And then Bobbie was like, you know, I feel for you or whatever. And then they ended up kissing and Emily saw it.
The 25th, Bobbie tells Alan she is leaving town for a trade convention in Rochester. They wrestle with the idea of going away together. They decide to use the next few days apart to think about things. They are interrupted by Emily, who brings up her doubts about the adoption. So she hadn't even been adopted yet. Okay. Then the 27th, Emily questions Monica about how long she has been friends with Bobbie. This is not the child's place.
Right.
Monica tells Alan that Emily is upset about his friendship with Bobbie. Tony tells Alan he is invested in a reconciliation with Bobbie. And later, Bobbie calls from Rochester asking Alan to meet her. On the 29th, Monica and Tony deduce that Bobbie and Alan have gone to New York City together. On October 12th, Tony and Monica decide to go to New York City to confront Alan and Bobbie. On the heels of Alan and Bobbie's decision not to sleep together, Monica and Tony show up at their hotel. On October 3rd, Tony and Monica confront Alan and Bobbie. We watched this during the Monica's Lovers thing. Okay. Alan and Monica argue. Alan tells her that what almost happened between him and Bobbie is as much her as anyone's fault.
Yeah.
No, Alan, you still have control of yourself.
Yeah.
Tony has no big reaction with Bobbie. He is drained of emotional reactions. I understand that. Bobbie wants to work things out with him. October 4th, Tony tells Bobbie her almost affair dramatically points out what's wrong, how wrong things have gotten between them. Bobbie suggests an emergency session with Kevin. Bobbie has a session with Kevin, and she wants to keep seeing him to work on herself. Good. October 5th, Monica wants a meeting with Bobbie. Oh, a meeting.
Yeah.
Alan suggests that instead of letting Tony beat him to a pulp, they go and have a few stiff drinks together. Monica
goes a few rounds with Bobbie over her almost affair with Alan. A slightly drunk Tony sees Kevin. Tony is worried that his calmness means that he is a ticking bomb waiting to explode. Kevin suggests just talking to Bobbie rationally. October 6th, Bobbie tells Luke about her and Alan. Bobbie finds Tony sitting alone in the dark, and Bobbie realizes it's BJ's birthday. She, forgot in all the drama. October 11th, Tony tells Laura about walking in on Bobbie and Alan. Tony is trying to remain civilized with Bobbie, but they are still trying to work things out. October 13th, Bobbie tries to talk to Monica, who wants nothing to do with her. October 23rd, Bobbie and Tony have a session with Kevin. They talk about why she fell for Alan in the first place. November 23rd, Bobbie learns Tony invited Lucy to the brownstone for dinner. November 28th, Bobbie comes to the Q mansion to visit Monica. Emily asks Bobbie if she and Alan are going to be lovers. She tells her that she and Alan are over and that Alan wants to make things right with his marriage and with Emily. Bobbie and Monica have a talk. She hopes that even if Monica never forgives her, she hopes that she will work things out with Alan. And then December 18th, Bobbie and Tony make love. Oh, the November stuff. This is when Lucy got Sigmund, and so there was a whole bunch of like
this was the
craziness
Thanksgiving
with the Sigmund stuff. So,
and Sigmund's the duck, in case you weren't aware of that.
Yeah, there's lots of Sigmund talk that I was like, okay, just get to Bobbie.
Lucy ordered duck for Thanksgiving, and they sent her a duck, a live duck.
Yep. On December 19th, Tony warns Damien to not try and intimidate Bobbie. This is like the end of that whole, like, listen here, I know she fell for you, but we're not doing this again. And then into 96, January 25th, Bobbie and Felicia wait for a frantic Simone who is waiting for news on Tommy. Felicia brings the local media into the search. Bobbie and Felicia help Tom and Simone search the brownstone again for Tommy. I don't know how we lost Tommy, but Tommy was missing. And so there's a lot of Bobbie trying to comfort Simone.
Okay.
January 29th, Bobbie is weirded out when Jason flirts with her because he is just waking up from his accident and doesn't know anything. And she's like, hey, I'm your nurse. And he's like, hey. And she's like, no. February 6th, 1996, Emily and Bobbie have a chat over hot chocolate at Kelly's. Emily tells her about a dream she had about her mom. February 8th, Bobbie makes an effort with Monica. The two ladies get into a food fight in the Q's kitchen and agree to call a truce. February 14th, Felicia gets trapped on the brownstone roof. Tom stupidly gets them both trapped. They're both freezing to death, and Bobbie rescues Tom and Felicia. And then February 21st, Bobbie admits to Tony that she may be jealous of Monica and Emily's new mother and daughter bond, but she's missing BJ. And then February 28th, Bobbie convinces a young mother, Diane, to give her baby up for adoption.
Like she promised to.
There you go.
On February 29th, Bobbie has a strange dream.
Keep going. Okay. You'll get it.
March 1st, Maxie and Bobbie remember BJ together, and Bobbie has another weird dream. On the 6th, Bobbie's dream continues to haunt her. Tony questions if the dream has anything to do with BJ. The mother that Bobbie convinced to give up her baby shows up to GH wanting Bobbie's help to get the baby back. Oh, wow. She at least wants to make sure the baby is okay, and Bobbie agrees to help. Bobbie digs for information on Diane's baby. On March 8th, Bobbie thinks of BJ. Bobbie tells Luke about her dream. Felicia covers for Bobbie when she forgets to pick up the kids. Felicia questions if she's okay. Good job. More dreams for Bobbie. And then on March 11th, Bobbie sees Kevin about her dreams. The next day, she visits BJ's grave. A couple days later, Bobbie and Damien go a few rounds on the air. Were they on the news?
I think they were on a radio.
Okay.
I don't know why they were together, though.
March 15th, Bobbie pampers Bobbie after she had a rough day at GH. She has a bad reaction. Oh, when he gives her an antique doll. I thought it was going to be like the cream or something. Sorry. She has a bad reaction when he gives her an antique doll he saw staring at her.
He saw her staring
I saw her staring at. Oh, because it looked like BJ.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's sweet that he noticed the little thing.
Yep, that she had been checking it out, and then he bought it, and it freaked her out.
Yeah. She wasn't mad at him, right?
I think she was just, like, overwhelmed and upset. She was having a lot of feelings that we'll get to why.
March 18th, more dreams for Bobbie. As she recounts the dreams to Tony, Bobbie fears she is losing her mind. Bobbie and Tony take baby James home for the night.
That's the baby that
Diane
was supposed to give up, but it was like she couldn't just take him back, I think. Now, I didn't watch all this, so if I'm misunderstood, please correct me. But I think they had to be like a safe home for the baby while the transition was happening. And, but the mom could still have some like visits.
Gotcha. March 19th, Bobbie is bonding while taking care of baby James. That's BJ, baby James, from Ward House. Just saying, that's probably not anything, but I'm just looking at it.
Yeah.
They're both capitalized right now. March 20th, Kevin wants to make sure that Bobbie does not have a desire to keep baby James. He thinks it's best that she calls social services to take him to a permanent foster home. On the 21st, Mac, Catherine, Bobbie, Lucy, and the Spencers get an invitation to a meeting about Damien's last wishes. So in the past 6 days, he's died.
Right. We've died,
okay.
And we're reading as well.
And Bobbie is having a hard time giving up baby James. On the 22nd, Bobbie tells Tony that she figured out what her dream means. Bobbie goes to an adoption agency looking for information on the daughter she gave up when she was 16.
See? Now the dreams make sense.
So we knew she was coming. Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, again.
Sorry that you didn't watch then.
Well, it's because it was March 1996, so I was still in middle school. So I wasn't watching until that summer, which was a couple months later. Because then on March 25th,
Sorry
Luke
that
and
you're
Laura...
old but not old enough. I don't know what to tell you.
Luke and Laura threw a birthday party for Tony. Bobbie forgot his birthday. She remembered the year before, though.
She did.
So.
She did. Then March 26th, Tony thinks Bobbie needs a vacation. They decide to go to Nashville. Tony and Bobbie's trip is dashed by an emergency at GH. March 27th, Bobbie decides to hire a PI to search for her daughter. March 28th, Monica and Bobbie teach Emily to jitterbug for the 1950s style dance at school. Bobbie's PI is flying to Fort Lauderdale for a lead on her daughter. April 2nd, Bobbie hears from the PI looking for her daughter. Bobbie visits Laura and Leslie Liu. Bobbie gets word from the PI that it will cost her $20,000 for current information from the lawyer that set up the adoption of her daughter. April 3rd, Bobbie learns that a shady lawyer sold her baby. Bobbie scrambles to get the money for the information. She decides to borrow the money and seeks Harry's advice. Bobbie is forced to make a deal with a shady loan shark for the $20,000.
Did they bring any of that up when Nell, when they were talking about... Okay, hold on.
No, they rewrote history because they made it sound like they handed Nell off to somebody like a wealthy family, and then somehow she ended up with Carly's dad.
But was she through the adoption agency? Was there an adoption agency involved in Nell's? Because they talked about the black underground market, black market thing with the babies,
right?
For Willow
and
Nell.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that,
but I don't think they brought up that had happened. That was what happened to Carly,
right?
Even when Carly was, that would have been really interesting. That would actually. Could you imagine how much that would have possibly changed Nell's perspective of, listen, Nell, I was sold on the black market too.
You say that so easily.
And then she'd have been like, wait, what? And then they could have had a bonding sister moment.
Bonding moment.
People would not have died.
Yeah. So April 5th, Garcia questions Bobbie about Damien's murder. Bobbie is worried when she can't get a hold of the PI she hired. Harry agrees to look into the guy for her and tells her that she has been conned. The shady PI gives $500 of the money to a young blonde woman, and this was the first appearance of Sarah Brown as Carly. And then April 6th, Bobbie tells Luke about needing to pay back the loan shark. Luke agrees to pay back the money for her. Luke handles her loan shark with the help of Sunny. Bobbie tells Luke the truth about wanting to find her daughter. April 9th, Lois and Bobbie discuss honesty in a relationship, and Carly rents a room at Kelly's. April 12th, Lois meets Carly at Kelly's. Carly chats with Lois about planning to stay in Port Charles and getting into nursing. Lois tells her about Monica looking for help at the wellness center at GH, and Carly works over Monica in hopes of getting a job.
See, why do I feel like I remember part of that? But that was in April?
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been when I was probably catching the last 10 minutes.
Right.
And so, if she was a new character, I was probably paying more attention than listening to Bobbie just talking about...
Right, because Carly would have been new, so you would have been listening. April 15th, Alan tells Bobbie that he is not Monica's secret admirer anymore, which really just plays into... Alan had been Monica's secret admirer, and then Monica was sad that she was losing his attention, so she was her own secret admirer, and then they weren't sure who the secret admirer was, but I mentioned the fact that he mentioned it to Bobbie in case that was going to restart something with them.
Mm-hmm.
Monica hires Carly as a volunteer at GH. April 23rd, Carly meets Bobbie. Carly overhears Amy telling Audrey that she wants to apply for a PT position at GH. Carly worms her way into the running for the job that Amy wants. Audrey is torn about who to give the job to, and Bobbie and Monica go to bat for her, and Carly is offered the job. After just meeting Carly that one time. If I was Amy...
And not even getting her qualifications?
Right. If I was Amy, I would be so angry. Amy had been there. What are we not doing? May 2nd, Carly overhears Bobbie and Tony talking about a surprise birthday party for Monica. Carly offers to help Bobbie get Monica to the surprise party and snags herself an invite. Isn't she just Miss Helpful?
On May 3rd, Bobbie agrees to help Carly get into the GH nurses program. On the 8th, Bobbie pays Laura a visit in prison. The 10th, Tony and the kids...
Laura's in prison because they think that she killed Damien.
I think a lot of people killed Damien.
Her fingerprints were on, it was a baseball bat that killed Damien, and her fingerprints were on it.
That I remember Yeah, this was definitely, like, I'm starting to remember some of these.
Okay.
Because I remember this one distinct part. Tony and the kids make Bobbie breakfast as an early Mother's Day gift, and Bobbie realizes that just what she has in her life to be grateful for. May 13th, after dropping by the brownstone, Carly gives Bobbie a present. The Joneses invite her to dinner, and Carly tells Bobbie about her family. We need to go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it?
I did not.
Okay, we have to go back and watch that. On May 17th, Bobbie takes the stand in court, and then Justice questioned her. That's what I feel like I remember Justice questioning because I remember the outcome. Mm-hmm. May 29th, the adoption agency contacts Bobbie at the brownstone. Tony answers, and Bobbie covers.
Because she had not told him.
Oh. Bobbie and Audrey tell Carly about a spot becoming available in the nursing program. Carly has to do some fast changes when it comes to her records. Oh, June 4th, Bobbie and Carly talk about Lily's death and how sad it is to lose someone you love. Carly surprises Bobbie and Tony with a candlelit lunch. Carly insists Tony take the credit, but he does not feel right about it. June 10th, Carly has to think fast when Bobbie finds her with her hands in the till at Kelly's. Bobbie promises Laura that she will be there for Lucky and Lulu, when you go to jail for murder.
I'll take care of your kids if you go to jail.
June 14th, when Bobbie visits the Spencers for dinner, she notices that Leslie Lou, that's Lulu, is running a high fever. She and Laura take her to GH, where Alan and Simone treat her. Bobbie tells the Spencers that it could be leukemia. Poor Lulu has had all these things. June 20th, Bobbie sprains her ankle in a scuffle, and Carly is tapped to take her place. And at the nurses' ball on the 21st, Alan sings Beautiful Girls to open the show. Carly takes Bobbie's place to sing Together Wherever We Go with Tony and Lucas.
No. I'm sorry. If I hurt my ankle, no one is filling in with my family. I'm sorry. Especially not singing Together Forever.
I maybe could.
Even, I'd be like,
but
song change.
I know you.
Song change.
But I know you.
Right.
It's like...
But Together Forever is definitely...
That's a family song. Like, that's a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Then June 25th, when Bobbie sees how upset Lucky is over not being a match for Lulu, she goes... Oh, yeah, he would have been a teenager. He probably... Yeah, he would have had a say in that. She goes to Kevin for some emergency counseling for him. Who's taking care of Kevin?
Poor Kevin's got everybody on.
Why is no one helping Kevin? Why isn't Kevin talking about his own therapy? Because therapists go to therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. She goes to Kevin's for some emergency counseling. Bobbie tells Luke that she wants to be tested too. If all else fails, Luke and Bobbie need to find her daughter.
That's a messed up sentence. I just don't like that. Like, I understand, but I don't like that. Because that's how we got Nicholas.
I was going to say, I'm like, why don't I remember Carly and Nicholas coming at the same time?
Yeah.
It's just, you don't. I feel like Carly was definitely here. Right. So then, June 27th, Carly returns Bobbie's dress she borrowed for the nurses' ball. She and Tony talk about how nervous she is about the nurses' program entrance examination. Tony helps her. Alone in Bobbie's bedroom, Carly pokes around Bobbie's clothes and jewelry. Bobbie catches her, and they have a mother-daughter type chat. Carly's a young adult. What kind of mother-daughter chat are they having?
I see you going through my things. I'm not having a mother-daughter chat other than stay the heck off my stuff.
If it was Emily going through, then you have the mother-daughter chat. You are a young woman. What are you looking at?
Right.
What was their mother-daughter chat about? Carly, when girls get to a certain age, they got to wear something. No. Carly tells Tony that she'd like to do something for Bobbie, like throw her a party.
And then I ended it with this because I couldn't wait for you to take over. That on June 28th, Bobbie tells Laura about the daughter she gave up. So now we're coming out to the world about our missing daughter, and you can tell us all about them officially figuring it all out.
It's going to be crazy.
I know.
It was crazy.
I know. But yeah, like I said, I guess it turned out being a little longer than I thought that it would be, but
I still have to edit. It's okay.
Whenever you read in the General Hospital scrapbook,
yeah.
It's like 3 sentences, and that's it. Bobbie and Tony are having problems. Bobbie and Alan get close. And like that's it. So, and it stops at 95, so I couldn't go into any of 96 for that.
Oh, that's right.
And then the same thing with all of the online sites. They're like 1 paragraph, and that was it. So thank God for Curly Q, who gives us a breakdown of day by day, so I could at least get a little more information to lead us through those.
But I know starting in 96 is when you have to jump over to soapcentral.com and get the play-by-play. So And YouTube. Hopefully it's still on YouTube.
Tons of YouTube. But yeah, I was so excited. Because when it said Sarah's first appearance, I was like, should I stop here? And then I was like, no, I have to go a little further. I have to go a little further. And I was like, no, I'm going to stop here where she's opening up to people, but you can take the whole swoop from there.
All right. Sounds good. So join us on Monday as we recap this week's shows.
Have a great weekend.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.